case I'm going to build a hood for this. But not today. Doing hooks for hooks today. For a little while. I don't know. We'll see how far we go. How many people come in. Morning, everybody. We'll let the fire get up a little bit. Coffee. I'm taking some color. Good day to start. Good way to start the morning. Quiet forging. Brokeback Mountain vibes. Well, that's all right. Whatever you think. Yep, USA. See there? Argentina. Hola, Argentina. Cody, Wyoming. ¿Dónde está en Cody, Wyoming? I think it sucks. Well, I guess I'd rather be here than anywhere else right now. I don't know if it'll stay that way, but bad here. What's it like everywhere else in the world? I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, so it's not as bad here as it is some places. Forging up some components for later, so I'm doing some little hooks that go on hat racks that I do. No, there ain't shit here. Just the way I like it. You get to an age and you get tired of everybody else's BS and you go where there isn't anybody. It's kind of like being in a hermitage up here. Hello, Russia. Greetings from Cody, Wyoming. Just doing a little light morning forging here. Can't hardly turn this forge down enough to. Hello, greetings, Philadelphia, from Cody. going to do a few of these hooks up today. I got 8 or 10 of them cut out. Got to be a little careful not to burn up my work though, because this forge gets so dang hot. Too hot. Doesn't take much heat for this little stuff on this big forge. I do my ends just a little different than everybody else does. Kind of drive them down. Drive them down and make a little pocket for the scroll to go. That way they don't stick up so much. That. Generally do 2 of these at a time, and that keeps me from burning them. If I get more than about 2 pieces in the forge, in this hot ass forge, I've got it choked off as hard as I can, and it still gets too much air. Lay them on there. I know that that is a little overexposed and you can't see down in there. Guess I should get some kind of a filter for this camera so you can actually see what's going on in there, see what I'm seeing. It's kind of a catch-22 though. If you can see what I'm seeing, then you can't see me. So but we're not in a hurry. Try to do this without screwing up the ends. Got a little quench water going. We're going to do a little courtesy quench here because I don't want to screw up the end that I've already forged. So we'll quench that off. There we go. That'll work. Don't drop them. I'll get them plenty hot. Done something like 2,500 of these in the last 5 or 6 years. Get them done, then maybe we'll do some horseshoes. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. If anybody's got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Yes, I am from America. Cody, Wyoming. It's the east entrance of Yellowstone National Park. We're right out in the middle of the United States. Who'd have thunk that you can still make a living being a blacksmith? But it's what I do every day and have for either this or train horses for the last 35 years. Yeah, Cody's not my name. Cody's where I'm at. We'll see what happens here. I got this old screwed up axe. Somebody really mashed it. I might try to straighten it out. The edge is still fairly good on it. Might try to give it a new life maybe. We'll see. See how I'm feeling. Like that. One thing about this coal forge is it gets everything hot. You get a deeper heat with a coal forge for some reason, better than you do with a gas forge. Has something to do with the way the fuel burns. Let's keep from quenching my hooks in my coffee this morning. That would be good. We're just making up these little components today. I use thousands of them. The weather's going to turn here this week, probably today, this evening. And I thought, well, hell, I might as well get the last of my outside forging in for the year. I won't be doing too much more of this when we get some snow on the ground. So I'm just doing a half step on that. And then I'll curl that up. We do a place for a rivet on the back side, and then we curl up the front side. Yeah, most of America is pretty good. You never see the good parts really on TV or anything. And only hear about the bad parts. have enough heat in that one. Hold it back in there and heat it up again. We're doing little hooks this morning. Components for other hooks. A lot of what I do is I kind of am a production blacksmith, and that's what I do. I do have an Etsy store. I sell some stuff here in town locally. Generally, I use a gas forge. You don't have to manage your work so much. But it's a beautiful, quiet morning, and we're going in for some weather. And so I thought, well, heck, I might as well do a few of these. Maybe I can get a few followers on the YouTube channel. I was up early. I have a sneaking suspicion that whoever had this anvil before me, they were left-handed, and they used the other end of the anvil because the one edge on the anvil is in really hard, rough shape. They call that paisley. It was the first one on the pile this morning, so this is the one I put on. I'm out of denim shirts. I need to do some laundry. You can see how hot that gets. Boy, it don't take long once that coke gets hot. That's what we're doing. Just little, simple little hooks to go on another hook. And I generally do them. It's not much, doesn't do much sense to do just one, so I do whatever I've got the stock for, a dozen or whatever at a time. I know I've done over 2,000 of these. Might do a hook pick while I'm at it. Good thing about this forge is it's quiet. This little forge, it doesn't make a ton of noise. It's kind of nice in the morning. It's not roaring like my gas forge does. Come February when it's cold, though, I'm pretty doggone happy to have that gas forge going in this blacksmith shop. Because it warms everything up. Hello! Wish I could tell you we were doing something real sexy and romantic, but we're not. We're just doing parts. Pieces and parts today. I'm not working on knives. I'm not working on art particularly. Just a random day in the blacksmith shop. I guess you guys can tell that if you leave bad messages, they just automatically get them taken down. That's good because that means I don't have to moderate you knuckleheads. I'll let the 8i do it. Another hook. We'll have a dozen here before long. We'll work on this hoof pick a little bit. Well, somebody's does maybe. Hopefully mine don't. Well, if you want to see what we build around here, and I say we, I mean me and all my personalities, you can go watch the other channels or go watch the other videos. Go subscribe. Yeah, it's pretty close there. Good morning. Yeah, I think old Diddy's in pretty good trouble. I don't know. He's not going to be able to oil his way out of this one, I don't think. You got to manage your irons in the fire or you'll burn them up. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I try to be, but sometimes you ain't doing art. Sometimes you're just making donuts. Sometimes you're just doing the same thing over and over every day. So this gives me opportunity to do something other than just stand here and talk to myself. spread a little education maybe, throw a little joy at the world, answer questions. This is going to be one short hoof pick. Let's try to do another, use this other set of tongs on that. This set of tongs doesn't fit that work very good. Reheat that, and then I'll use this other set of tongs. I got this other set that's got this hole in them. And it works better for doing some of this stuff. We're doing wall hooks right now, just hooks to go on other hooks. Just the basic stuff. Nothing sexy, I'm afraid. Sometimes I do knives and stuff on here, but this morning I needed to get a bunch of these done because I got an order to go out today. And I thought, well, heck 'em up. The internet is looking pretty good. So I might as well forge a few hooks up. So I'll do a dozen of them. Or whatever I cut this morning. I don't know, 10 or 12 of them. All right, so we'll use this other set of tongs. See, I can go over the top of that heel on that. Ah, that's better. That holds better. Kinda. Better. Burn up your steel poly. That's a cute little hoof pick. Cleaning out the horse's feet. Throw something a little different in while we're doing the rest of this baloney. Not first that one up. Ah, not so bad. Hey, greetings, Scotland. Trump versus Harris. Honestly, I don't think it matters a bit. It's kind of like watching midget wrestling and thinking that it's real. Do not believe it makes much difference in the grand scheme of things. No matter who's in there, they're going to take more from us. It's just the nature. Greetings, Australia, from Cody, Wyoming, USA. The east entrance to Yellowstone National Park. That looks fairly good. Well, we got a few more here, and then I might do a horseshoe or two. I'm still feeling pretty spry. Morning. See how it goes here. So that's where the hole will go to rivet onto the back plate of another hook. And then we do the other end. We do a draw out, draw it down, and then do a little scroll on it. Casper. Well, that ain't the prettiest place in Wyoming. I think it's about the biggest town in Wyoming now, though. I think it's outgrown Cheyenne, pretty much. You can't really call it a city much. I don't know. It's, what is it, maybe 50,000 people or something? Nope. There's a trick to doing this for 36 years, and it's I'll show it to you here in a minute. Hello from France. Greetings from Cody, Wyoming. Spent a lot of time in Casper. Used to work down there. So, how you keep your elbow from hurting is you square up your hammer handles. See how it's not round? I rectangle them out, and they lay in your hand a lot better. And the other thing is, don't try to swing too big of a hammer. This is about a 2.5 pound, and that's as big as I will swing on a regular basis. And that keeps me from getting that tendonitis in my elbow. If you have a round handle on your hammer, you have to squeeze it really hard to keep it from spinning. But if you square it up, you don't hardly have to squeeze it at all. Buffalo, New York. Greetings from Cody, Wyoming. I had a girlfriend in college that was from Niagara, New York. I've never liked the beard. It's they get really dirty. As far as being shirtless, nobody wants to see that, and I am quite bald. So there, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess. Harriman, Tennessee. Greetings, Tennessee, from Cody, Wyoming. Something like that. We're making wall hooks this morning. Components for other stuff. Nothing sexy, I'm afraid. Just doing them regular work while I'm live. Gives me something to think about while I'm sitting here waiting for these hooks to warm up. I appreciate everybody come in. Thanks for the likes. If you're interested in this and interested in what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of short videos. I've got some pretty informative long videos. We're just doing wall components. Nothing sexy, I'm afraid, but I'm doing hundreds of them. What I'm doing here off screen is I got a little thing of water here, and I'm doing a little quench so I don't screw up my little scroll that I put on the end of my hook. And even after 36 years, I still drop one once in a while. Something like that. Got one more of these. Might go grab me a horseshoe or two. Maybe I could do a heart or two. Get a bunch built up. I try to get some backstock built up, and then that way, as I'm building stuff during the week, I don't have to stop and build a back plate for something or a hook for something. I can just grab out of the backstock and put it on. San Antonio. Hello, San Antonio. From Cody, Wyoming. Yeah, I do a lot of knives and axes. I can't show them to you, though, because YouTube hates it. I got a whole wall of them here that I've built right there. But I can't show them to you because YouTube really doesn't like it at all. So. Not too often, and only in the beginning. You don't touch it too much, but I do get burned on a daily basis because you know there's scale on these hooks on the metal. They oxide. See that coming off of there? That's some of the scale coming off. And that'll burn you. Actually, I probably burn myself welding more than I do blacksmithing, actually. Sounds like they're taxiing up the morning flight out of here. Greetings from Brazil. Hello, Australia. Greetings from Cody, Wyoming, USA, east entrance to Yellowstone National Park. Well, I'll grab a couple of horseshoes out of the horseshoe stack. We'll do a couple of horseshoes. We got the forge going where I get these hottened up. Better mind my business here or I'm going to burn my iron. Well, watch my channel. If you want to learn, great place to learn is my channel. I give it away for free. The lessons. You got to do it for nothing. All you got to do is watch. You'll get smarter about it. All right, this is the last of these I got cut up. I don't know how many that is, probably 12. That might be enough to fill my orders for the day, maybe. Now we'll do some stuff with a couple. I'll do a couple of these horseshoes. Got all kinds of orders for stuff right now. So far behind. That's why I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning forging, because I'm behind on my work. And if you take a day off, you end up 2 days behind. These will be back plates. I'm going to make these horseshoes into hearts. I'll forge them into some hearts, and they'll become back plates for other wall hooks. Decorative stuff. You notice how I use that step down in that anvil as a guide, and it helps keep them straight. That's a whole stack of them there. I don't know if you can see that, but I got a whole stack there, about probably close to a dozen. I've done in how long have I been on? 45 minutes? Did a dozen of those in 45 minutes. No, I don't. Horseshoes is a very small part of what I do. You can go watch the channel and you can see I do knives and all kinds of stuff, but I don't show the knives on my lives because YouTube does not like it. They don't like it. So I'll draw that other heel down like that, and that'll be the points of the heart. Stick around and you'll see one. I do a lot of horseshoe stuff because everybody likes horseshoes. They expect it to be, that's what a blacksmith is supposed to do. So I do a lot of horseshoe stuff because that's what sells. And I do this as a living, so you're going to make what sells. I could make pancake flippers, but how many pancake flippers are you going to sell? So after 36 years, I got a pretty good handle on what goes and what doesn't go. I was watching Jesse James back when he had his show on the Discovery Channel. That's been over 20 years ago. Well, if you watch any of the rest of my platforms, you know how I feel about selling religion. I ain't too into it. We're having a little fluff up about it here in Cody right now. Yeah, they do actually. You do make a high heel. They do make a high heeled shoe for horses. I'll show you one here in a second. called a heel and a toe shoe. There's the heel, toe, and there's the heel. These ones were actually built up. Somebody built them up with some welding rod. You thought you were being a smartass, but you're. Yeah, I do jewelry. Do all kinds of stuff. I'm easily bored, so I do all kinds of stuff. After 36 years, there isn't too much I haven't done. Blacksmithing somehow or another. Yeah, I do have an online store. It's Cody. If you just Google Cody Iron Works, it comes up. I have an Etsy store. All right, so we got both them heels done. Now I'll work on the toe of that shoe. Want to get it nice and evenly heated. Yep, I pretty much every piece of clothing I own, if it goes out in this blacksmith shop's got holes in it. That's just the cost of doing business. And the carbon the carbon from all of the mill scale gets into everything. It gets down into your hands, and your hands are never clean. It grinds right into the carbon grinds right into your skin. So anywhere where you're like touching something like that, you pretty much have some kind of black on your hands all the time. There's no way to get rid of it. It just goes with the nature of doing this job. I do knives, I do axes, a lot of interior stuff. My Etsy store is mostly interior stuff for houses. I do a lot of toilet paper holders, wall hooks, hat racks, thousands of hat racks. I've done something like 3,000 cowboy hat racks to hang these hats on in the last 5 years. Sometimes I do, but they get hot. An apron gets damn hot. And I've got a really nice leather apron, but it's a pain in the butt to wear. Okay, so we got the heels done on that one. But it is a fairly good way to stay in shape. I don't work out. Yeah, if you knew how many horseshoes Who's Bob Munden? Bob Munden was a very famous trick shooter. He was quite a guy. I actually met Bob Munden years ago at an event here in Cody, Wyoming. Okay, so there's the point of our shoe. Now we're going to try to bend that into a heart if I can. If I don't run out of fuel first. Try to clean this up. I don't want to add any because this weather's going to change here today. And I don't want to leave any of this fuel. I'm going to burn up all of it I can so I don't waste any of it. No, I've never made a mouth harp. I've replaced the tongue in a mouth harp though one time. Ask them how to get to Cody Iron Works. There you go. Ask Google that. See if it'll tell you how to get here. That one turned out fairly good. I used to do quite a bit of cowboy action shooting back in the 90s. We had a pretty good club here in Cody. And then ammunition got expensive and nobody could afford to do it anymore. You go out to the gun range, there's still it's all of the backdrops and everything for the cowboy action shooting is still there. Yep, that's me. I worked real hard to get that on Google. Took me years to get out from underneath the mill weight I had around my neck. All right. There's a little trick to doing these parts. You want them round. You want that curve round. You don't want that to be angled in. And you have to have a pretty good horn on your anvil to do that. You can do it without a good horn, but it's a lot easier if you have a good horn on your anvil. So a horse is just like a human. When you put a shoe on them, they don't wear the shoe evenly. So you'll always have more material in one side of the horseshoe than the other. And so you have to mitigate that a little bit when you're doing this kind of thing, because otherwise you'll end up with one side a lot longer than the other. I try to pick horseshoes that are fairly even, but it's blacker than the inside of a cow out here this morning. And I just picked the first horseshoes that were in the pile. So I just do a lot of content. I just passed 111,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I've got 114,000 subscribers on TikTok. And I'm tapped out on my personal friends on my Facebook page. So it's just by sheer Norwegian stubbornness that I keep up in the algorithm. I try to post every day and have for 5 or 6 years. Okay, we're almost there. I'm going to do the toe on this other one. Close it up. Okay. There's our heart. I'm 53 this year. Another couple of days, I'll turn 53. I'm going to pull those heels in on this one just a little more. What I was talking about is the shoes have more, this shoe had more mass in one side than the other a little more. And so you kind of got to stretch it, and you can't really tell until you get it drawn up and you get the heels in, and then you can tell one's a 1/4 of an inch longer or 1/2 inch longer than the other one. What's what in the background? I got a vise. That's my 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel. That's a display that I use for displaying all my work when I do shows, when I go to gun shows and all of that kind of stuff where I go sell my stuff, the farmer's market. Turned out pretty good. Huzzah! There we go. A couple of those hearts done up. You got quite a bit of stuff done this morning in an hour. All right, everybody. So now's your chance. If you got any questions, comments, questions, you want to know about anything, now's your chance. I'll take a few comments and questions here before I shut this off. I'm going to anneal this. I'm going to nail this axe head out. I'm in Cody, Wyoming. It's the closest town to the east entrance of Yellowstone Park. Yellowstone Park is the first national park in the United States. It's huge. It's about 100 miles square. And you can't see it all in one day. That's how big it is. You can't hardly drive around the whole thing in one day. I think it's closed now, or if it isn't closed, it will be this week probably. The minute we get a little snow on Sylvan Pass, it'll close. We'll kick the heat up on this a little. Burn up the rest of this fuel. So I'm running coke in this forge, and coke is to coal what charcoal is to wood. It's very efficient, gets very, very hot. There's nowhere locally to get it, so I have to ship it in from back east. Thanks for all the likes, I appreciate it. It comes from Georgia. It's almost like glass. And as you burn it, the impurities come out, and after about an hour, it'll clog up the forge with what they call a clinker. And there's a clinker. That's the part of the fuel that won't burn up. And it's almost like glass. And so about every hour, if I'm using this little forge like this, I'll have to, depending on what I've been forging and how much fuel I've used, I'll have to clean it out, knock the clinker out, because this is a forge, I don't have a clinker breaker in there. And I can tell I ain't getting a lot of air. Must be a clinker in the bottom of that sucker. Right there. Busted it up. And that's a bad mistake. You bust up that clinker and then it'll melt to your work. And you'll go to forging into your work, and you'll end up with a big dang clinker on your work that'll screw up your work. So you don't really want to turn your fire over like I did right there, but it don't matter because we're done anyway. Well, sun's starting to come up. I don't know what time it is, but they're starting to get a little glow. If nobody's got any questions, if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more, please subscribe. That would be great. Maybe go out and check out some of my other videos. Get it hot and headed, always wear your safety squints. If you like the content, slip over to the Etsy store, Cody Iron Works. You can just Google it. Share some love. Everybody have a great day. Next time you see me, I'll probably be in the snow. They're talking about snow tonight. If I can get some internet in this shop, we'll be doing live streams from the inside of the shop, and you'll get to see me use the power hammer and all the rest of that stuff. If you're curious about that, you can go check out the Etsy or the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. See you later.